Hey everybody, day 4 of Math with Grandma. Here's our special page. Look at all the ants. So many ants. Ant attack. It's a picnic, the ants all scream. How many ants are in this scene? Try to count them one by one. Before you're finished, they'll be done. Find a square before you count. Soon you'll see the right amount. Making sure I got them all. Did you count them while I pointed to them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The yellow ones are hard to see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. If there was one more, there would be 20. But there's not. For some reason, our clock book, we did 10 yesterday, but today they skipped 11 and went right to 12. If we'd done 11, the little hand would point to the 11 and the big hand to the 12. 12 o'clock is tricky because the one hand hides behind the other. When you can look just like there's only one hand, it means it's 12 o'clock. If it's when we're eating our lunch, it's 12 o'clock noon. It's p.m. And that means it's going to be afternoon. We say good morning when we wake up until noon. And then we say good afternoon until about supper time. And then we say good evening after 5 or 6 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Time for lunch in the backyard and the little snooze. Look who's asleep already. It's 12 o'clock. Move the big hand to the number 12 and the little hand to the number 12. You use the clocks above to help you. What time do you actually have your lunch? Sometimes it's the same, like when Claire and Gwen and Teddy are at school. And other times it might be a little different when we're home on the weekends. A little more about bartering and money. It wasn't very difficult when there was only a few things to barter. People soon got to agree on what would be traded for what, but when there were hundreds of items to swap, it got very complicated. For instance, some people thought monkeys were worth more than coconuts, and some people thought coconuts were worth more than monkeys. They had to decide how many of both to barter for, and then sometimes they wanted a canoe. So some people thought canoes were worth one amount and some thought it was a different value. Bartering got so complicated that people created an easier way to trade. They made money. So why did bartering stop? Figuring out the value of things was tough. Plus people had to carry everything they wanted to barter around with them, and that got very difficult. People needed to find a common measure of value to their possessions. This common measure is called a medium of exchange. So how do mediums of exchange work? A medium of exchange is anything that a group of people agree has a certain value. If shells are the agreed upon medium for exchange, the value of everything is measured in shells, and everything is paid for in shells. If it costs 5 shells, a pair of shoes costs 15 shells, and a coat 50. Whatever is bought is paid for in shells. Shells would be kind of funny, but that's what they used to do. All right, Raph and Hugo. Grandma found the Icky Bug Shape Book by Jerry Palato, illustrated by Sheenan Bersani. She did some of our other books that we've been reading by Jerry Palato. Icky Bug Shapes. Leafcutter ants live underground. They live in huge nests. Some of the nests hold more than 1 million ants. These ants are on their way to work. Here is a triangle. It has 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. It's a part of a leaf that this ant is carrying. Leafcutter ants have jaws like scissors. This ant just cut out a triangle. A triangle is shaped with 3 straight sides. Each side of this triangle is the same length. So it's an isosceles triangle. Ooh, that looks more like a spider. Spiders are kind of grouped by most people as insects, but they're really arachnids. Here is a triangle spider. Most spiders are round. As you can see, the spider has a body shaped like a triangle. The triangle spider uses its thorny front legs to catch bugs. Yep, it does sort of have a triangle-shaped body. It's not quite straight down here, but it still looks like a triangle. It actually kind of makes a face. Eyes, and those look like teeth. That's kind of scary. Have you ever seen a triangle spider? I don't think I... Ooh! That praying mantis definitely has a triangle-shaped head. Look at his big round eyes. But his head makes the shape of a triangle. 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. Now that you're an expert at finding triangles, look at this bug. Can you see a triangle shape somewhere on its body? Ooh, that's kind of a beetle. Can you see the triangle? I see it. It's black. It's not as big as some of the others. You see it right there? 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Circle. Circles are round, round, round. There's no sides to them at all. This leafcutter ant just cut out a perfect circle. A circle is a round shape and has no straight lines. Each point on the edge of a circle is the same distance from the center. The colorful butterflies on the next page have circle shapes on the underside of their wings. Why would they have them? Are they a warning to stay away? Are they fake eyes? Do the circles attract other butterflies? No one knows for sure. Do you see all the little circles on the butterfly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lots of circles. Oh. That big bee. Bumblebees are fuzzy all over. These are not bumblebees. These are carpenter bees, and they have a smooth, shiny abdomen. Carpenter bees make their nests by chewing holes into wood. They even chew a circle into the side of the house. Grandpa does not like carpenter bees because they put holes in our house and they build nests in the wall. Not a good thing. Here is a weevil from Southeast Asia. It looks like someone designed it in an art class. There are shapes everywhere in nature. Look at this one. It's covered with circles. There's its, looks like its eyes, but its eyes actually may be up here on its head. Square. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides, all the same, makes a square. The leafcutter ant has cut out a square. A square is a shape with 4 sides that is the same length. All 4 corners of the square are at right angles, just like the pages of this book. Here are 2 moths back to back. Their bodies are positioned just right to make a square. A square is a very hard shape to find in nature. Four hungry caterpillars are looking for a tasty leaf. One is walking left, one is moving right, one is going up, and one is traveling down. As they inch along, the square will soon disappear. Here are 2 lacewings. They have stopped to take a rest on a clothesline. Each lacewing has 4 wings. Their long, skinny, hind wings line up to form a square. Lace wings. Oval. No, the leafcutter ant is very busy. He's cut out an oval. An oval doesn't have any sides, but it's not a perfect circle. It's kind of squat, like an egg. If you take a look at this grasshopper, can you find an oval shape on its body? You're right. Its eye is an oval. There's kind of an oval here on its abdomen. Ooh. These beetles are oval shaped. They are some oval shaped ladybugs. Most ladybugs have polka dots, but these Australian ladybugs have zigzag designs on their back. That's kind of funny. A longhorn beetle have unusually long antennae. They're so long they stretch around the beetle's body and make an oval shape. That's a funny beetle with that long antenna. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. Rectangle. A rectangle has 4 sides, like a square, and 4 right-angled corners, but the sides are not all the same shape. Walking sticks do not look like bugs. They look like twigs or sticks. 2 of them are walking from one branch to another, and they form a rectangle. There's the walking sticks. Spiders made a web that's a rectangle. The net-casting spider is very clever. It builds a web and then throws it on the bug it's trying to catch. Sometimes the web is shaped like a rectangle. This cicada has rectangle designs on its wings. Cicadas are the loudest of all insects, and they make a buzzing sound. See the rectangles on the wings. Pentagon. Pentagon has 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of an odd shape. A mother beetle just laid her eggs in the shape of a pentagon. Markings on the eggs make them look like happy faces. More bugs are coming soon. Do you see the 5 sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See the little happy faces? It's kind of funny. Hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. It's kind of like a stop sign. Hexagons are very common in nature. Bees and wasps make hexagon-shaped nests. These wasps chewed wood to make their paper nest. It's also the shape of a bee's honeycomb. After a long walk, the leafcutter ants are coming home. They're carrying all their shapes down to their nest. They made a diamond. Oh, Gwen, they made a spiral and a star and a heart and a crescent. Not normally shapes we find. But you should recognize these shapes now. Rectangle, oval, square, circle, triangle. Inside the nest, the smaller leafcutter ants chop the leaves into tiny pieces. The pile of chewed leaves decay and fungus grows. Leafcutter ant eats the fungus. Delicious. I guess we do eat mushrooms sometimes. They grow their own food. Wow, leafcutter ants are fantastic. Icky bug shapes. Math Equals Fun, Shapes and Patterns by Jerry Pilato, illustrated by Rob Bolster. I'm not sure if we'll read this whole one today. There's a lot of information in this one. Up. Do you recognize these shapes now? Square, triangle, circle. One school is under construction. An architect came off the job site and walked into our classroom. She usually designs buildings, but today she's teaching us how to draw shapes. All shapes start with a line. Start at a point and draw the line. She has lots of things to help her make very straight lines. Rulers, remember we saw those the other day? And pens and markers, erasers and scissors. She drew a dot and told us to put that is called a point in space. We drew it just a dot on the chalkboard, and then she drew away from the dot to make a line. So there's her point, and then they drew the line. Got to know where to start. Sometimes we make angles. Remember when we made the triangles? Sometimes the angles are wide, and sometimes they're skinny. When you put a bunch of lines together that are the same, you have the triangle. This one has 3 sides the same and 3 corners the same. It's called an isosceles triangle. Ooh, circles are tricky. She put a point in the center and drew a line and walked around the circle, keeping the string tight. That's how you can draw a circle. This part here is called the radius from the center to the outside. If we go all the way across, it's called the diameter. When we use a ruler, we can make very precise things. I make my point and go straight 2 ways, then I have a right angle. And that's going to help me make a square. If I drew 2 lines going the same direction, we're called parallel lines. They look like railroad tracks, are roads. Square. If I put the point and draw equal lines with my ruler all the way around, I get a square. We tried to trick our teacher. One of the shapes that we drew was not really a square. Can you figure out which one is different? You see the different one? Not quite a square. Ovals versus a circle. Not quite completely round. An oval can look like an egg, or sometimes the rings around Saturn. Rectangles. Remember, we said they have the 4 lines and the 4 corners, but one side is longer than the other. A square is equal, a rectangle is longer. Hey, there's the pentagon shape again. 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are pretty tricky to draw. Whoa. Hey, this is 5 sides, but it doesn't look quite the same. That looks like home plate when you play baseball. This one looks like a kite and a diamond. I don't know, that looks like the type of pineapple to me. A banana makes a crescent shape. And there is a heart. Hearts are usually pretty symmetrical. The sides look the same. The kite sort of looks the same on both sides. It's pretty symmetrical as well. We did the hexagon, and a heptagon has 7 sides. It looks pretty odd, doesn't it? An octagon has 8 sides. A nonagon has 9 sides. And a decagon has 10 sides. Pretty crazy. Here is another pattern. 1 blue dot, 2 green dots, 1 blue dot, 2 green dots. In each of these spaces around the borders are making patterns too. What patterns can you make? Triangle, 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 oval, triangle, 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 oval. But hey, look, this one goes up, this one goes down, this one goes up. Oh, no, wait, this one's going down, this one's... Boy, they're making a really complicated pattern. What patterns can you think of? Look, they made a star out of crayons and with a pattern block. So many patterns and shapes.